Welcome to episode 830 of Hard Factor. It is Tuesday, December 7th, 2021. Thank you for cheating on the news with us. We got Mark, Pat, Wes, and I'm Will to talk with you today about the 80th anniversary of Pearl Harbor, among other things. That's going to more on that in the cup of coffee. What else we got going on, gentlemen?
Bro,
I have great news for guys.
Yeah, I have pretty good TikTok stuff over here, bro. Pretty good stuff.
Good.
Talk about cocaine. Talking about killing yourself. Talking about women's rights. Everything. So
all right, it's a wide gamut right there. Good news for men, cocaine, but then also suicide and women's rights as well. That Hard Factor really covers the whole spectrum of issues, topics in today's news. I would say.
I got breaking news here, guys, from the Daily Mail UK. Britney Spears puffs on a cigarette in Mexico. That's a headline coming from the Daily Mail UK. Celebrating her 40th birthday.
Probably looks great.
She looks like a girl from Louisiana. It's about 40 and rips heaters. So
looks
right up my alley.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That sounds
Mexico?
Saying she looks great, huh?
Like a little slice of heaven right there. Wow.
That's what I'm saying. She's down there in Mexico ripping them heaters.
Talking about Cabo. We're talking about here.
I don't know. Maybe we can cover it on tomorrow's Hard Factor.
Yeah, where is she?
Cabo San
where
Lucas.
is she?
She's in Cabo San Lucas, celebrating her 40th. So.
Nice. So have fun, Brittany.
Okay.
Have fun, Brittany. Wes, what do you got? What kind of topics?
I got a little hodgepodge. I got a story on Santa and a story about snakes. So Santa and snakes.
That is a real mixture. Wow, what a mixed bag today.
Yeses.
Fantastic. Yeah. We got all the headlines. Headline news is in your cup of coffee in the big time. So why don't we just do the news? Cup of coffee in the big time's up first.
Yeah, cup of coffee in the big time.
Holidays, history, and trending news. But first, a fun fact. And you might notice the theme as we go along here. The largest battleships ever built were the Yamato class by the Japanese during World War II at 863 feet long with the displacement of 73,000 long tons. This model of battleship was so big it eventually became an aircraft carrier for Japan. And nowadays, the USA has the biggest ships in the sea with the Nimitz class nuclear-powered aircraft carriers displacing 97,000 tons. So,
what are they? What are those? Are they reefs now? Those ships for those Japanese ships? They just reefs now.
I don't think they were ever taken down. They were just decommissioned after World War II. So
okay.
It ain't about the biggest ship in the sea. It's the motion of the ocean, right?
That's what they
Nimitz,
say.
Right?
That's what I say.
That's what everybody else is saying.
You don't need a Nimitz.
Yeah.
I think we got like 2 inches on average height over Japan here in the States. I'm surprised that they built the biggest.
Well, at the time, World War II, they had big aspirations.
At the time, we had 3 inches on them. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, at the time. We'll talk more about at the time in a minute. But first, December 7th holidays. National Cotton Candy Day in December in the winter time for some reason. Very odd to me. National Cotton Candy Day occurs in December. World Trick Shot Day. Again, Southern Hemisphere. Awesome time weather for trick shots. But Northern Hemisphere, why is Trick Shot Day going to be in December? Doesn't make much sense. And, of course, Pearl Harbor Remembrance Day, because today in history, December 7th, in 1941, the Japanese launched a surprise attack on the U.S. Pacific Fleet stationed in Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. The attack resulted in 2,403 total deaths between service members and civilians, and was what was responsible for the USA entering into World War II, which was not great for Hitler, as you all know. And then also it got this all-time quote out of the Japanese military, quote, "I fear all we have done is to awaken a sleeping giant and fill him with a terrible resolve."
Who said that?
Admiral Isoroku Yamamoto. Famous last words. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Japanese admiral. Yeah.
I was under the impression that it was like like our guys, like FDR, being like, "You've unwoken a sleeping giant."
No, the Japanese themselves, they knew what they had done. They woke up from the hangover of Pearl Harbor. They were like, "Oh, we fucked ourselves," and that is what, as we remember on the 80th anniversary.
You know what's interesting is,
attack.
I'm pretty sure, I'm almost positive, the attack before that, a foreign attack on U.S. soil, the last one, was Battle of New Orleans. I'm pretty sure.
Who attacked us there? What are the British?
The British came at us there. Yeah. 1812, War of 1812, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, not many attacks on U.S. soil, so all very notable, especially Pearl Harbor. Very, very deadly attack. Also, on this day in history, December 7th, in 1995, the NASA Galileo spacecraft reached Jupiter after traveling for 6 years to get there.
Wow, where is it now, I wonder?
It's in Jupiter's orbit. It's just
Still. Oh,
Yeah,
that's where it landed. It's, hey, we're parking here, man.
Yep.
We've gone far enough.
Anything new from Jupiter lately?
No, it's still just a giant storm on the surface, West. Just all a gaseous storm.
Got it.
That's it.
I really feel like, on that note, there's not enough accountability from these goddamn satellites and shit that we send up here all the time. You know, I want a monthly report because we're paying for this shit. You know, not that one that we didn't pay taxes then. Our parents did, but I want a fucking report, man. We got all these goddamn satellites out in space. We don't know where the fuck they are, right? Can we get an update?
Yeah, they should keep a running list. NASA should do a better job, Pat. I agree. They need to just, as a taxpayer, you should be given your like NASA app that tells you where all the NASA things are, what they're doing for you right now, because you pay for that. I
just want like top level, like cool shit this month, sick photos. That's all I want.
You want like a daycare stream of the
all
satellites.
That's too much. I don't want that. That's
That's what I want. That's not too much to ask.
You want.
It really isn't.
You want
I
a
don't
constant feed?
Yeah.
Of course.
Well, the option. I'd say highlights plus the feed, Pat. I think and also, I mean, you know, NASA has a decent social media game, but I think that they could up it. They could come up with the NASA app.
Yeah,
Give us a feed.
I just feel like we miss a lot of shit. I feel like a lot of shit like slips through the fucking cracks, and you're like, oh yeah, that's on Mars now, and you're like, what? Wait, no.
NASA should have a billion followers.
I mean, they have a lot, but they need to get they don't. I feel like they could. Their live stream would be more boring though than the animal live streams would always be better because there's more action. Because space live stream is going to be pretty boring for the most
15 million followers? Come on, that's a joke.
It'd be cool though, like if you to get high and then to be able to go and like be like, what's going on Mars right now, and just tune in.
Right. I think
that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, you could pretty much do the same thing by putting a photograph of Mars on your wall and looking.
Well,
at
I know
it,
it's worthless, but it'd still be kind of cool to know. Maybe
Right.
catch something, you know.
Yeah, you should start doing.
And we're
research.
cutting live
See a
to
big gust of wind.
40-year-old man in Texas who caught something on the stream. Mr. Shepard, tell us what you saw.
I don't know what it was. Might have been a shadow. Might have been a gust of wind.
I was watching.
Yeah, but I was watching. Thank God for that stream.
Did you hear the wind howl? It was insane.
Thinks he saw something.
It's Martian wind. It's different. It slaps. All right. Let's move it on, fellas, to the trending news. Honorable mentions are up first. Veep, Kamala Harris can't stop getting called bully by former staffers. That's just another article's out. A PlayStation executive got caught being a pedophile, so he's in trouble. Yeah, not
Covered that on the Hive Hour too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Patreon.com/Hard Factor for the full scoop.
Following
on
in the suit of what was it? The World of Warcraft people, Activision and Blizzard. Yeah.
yeah. Video rough go.
all of them.
Rough couple months for
That's a
video game
correlation
sex.
you don't want to mess. You don't want to go down that rabbit hole of how many guys that are really into video games are creepers. You stay
If
away.
you
from
got
that.
a great pair of tits, that's a tough office to work in. Any video game office. Yeah.
Yeah, well, PlayStation apparently, if you're very young, doesn't just young. Gross. Devin Nunes is retiring from politics after 2022. That's big news. People talking about the cow account
to run Trump TV or whatever.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, he's going to run the Trump media organization.
Okay, nice. Different a career change. Still staying in politics.
Better
Though.
pay.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Bills versus Patriots was hopefully a very fun Monday night game. And there's only a few more weeks of football season left. So cherish it, fellas. Just making sure to remind you of that. Time is fleeting. 2021 football season is also fleeting. And speaking of sports and politics, the Olympics. That's the big honorable mention today. The Biden administration announced on Monday that U.S. politicians and diplomats will not be attending the 2022 Winter Olympics in China due to, quote, ongoing genocide and crimes against humanity in Xinjiang, according to White House spokesperson
That'll
Jen
show 'em.
Psaki. Yeah, that'll show him. You're right, Mark. You know what would be a lot better than a diplomatic boycott of the Olympics would be to pass the Uyghur Forced Labor Prevention Act that already passed the Senate back in July. And some reports indicate that John Kerry and Nancy Pelosi are the ones holding it up on purpose at the behest of some substantial lobbyist pressure. So passing
that's small potatoes. What's really going to get them is when we don't show up to the stadium when they do the opening ceremony.
Just the politicians. All the athletes
That's right.
will be there, but the politicians won't. That'll show them.
When they can't pan up to the crowd and show,
That'll show 'em.
usually it's the vice president that shows up,
Whoa.
Or
Tell you what,
yeah.
you think
Statement.
this isn't that big of a deal, and it's not. It's silly, but it is China, because normally if someone's doing something fucked up, you show up. That's what you do instead of don't show up. But here's the deal, China, right? This is a big slap in the face to China if you're China.
Right.
China do not like
big
this.
as the act that's been on the table.
No,
for-
all
it's
this,
almost
all this,
arguably
all
bigger
this
for
does
China.
is
No, it's
piss
not.
China off. It doesn't do anything
China
besides
gets mad.
Yeah,
when
it
you slight
pisses
them.
China. This pisses China off and does nothing else. It doesn't make them want to
Right.
change their policy on the Uyghurs. It makes them more angry at the U.S. for a very shallow display of not
Probably hurts
showing
the
up.
Uyghurs.
China's
Yeah,
like
it probably
a
hurts
catty,
the Uyghurs. Yeah,
It hurts the
China's
Uyghurs.
like a
They're gonna
catty
be meaner
rich
now.
girl. I'm telling you, man. You don't
they're
show
going
her
to take it
party.
on the Uyghurs.
They are. So they did.
Yeah.
Take that. We won't be in the stands.
Kamala
Yeah.
no show up. Yeah.
Yeah, there goes the uterus.
All right. Well, yeah. I mean, whatever. It's a step in the right direction, maybe, at helping
It is.
the Uyghurs out.
It is
But
a step in the right
Maybe
direction,
just
but
pass
it's,
the act that you've been
it
sitting
doesn't
on
matter,
for
yeah.
months.
Right.
Instead of
It's also
doing
so
this,
stupid because
thing.
this came from the White House, right? So Biden's trying to play hardball with China, right? And look, we got to do something. Can't do nothing. It's a symbolic gesture.
Hardball would be the
But
act that's been waiting
That's
to be
that's
passed
government.
For
That's
months.
government sucks. That government fucking sucks. Someone should push
is
that.
government.
No,
Government.
Pat. Literally, they just haven't voted in the House. That's the only thing holding it up.
Yeah.
They just need to vote on it in the House. That's it, and they just haven't.
Well, we'll see. My
So they
point
won't
is,
answer
though,
the question of why they won't do it.
you just get off like a 9-hour Zoom call with the guy, with Xi, right? And then you couldn't even worked it out then, right? And then, presumably that was a productive call, and you're like, well, I'm not showing up to the Olympics. Is the next
Right.
thing you do?
Yeah, maybe the act would say a lot more. Speak softly and carry a big stick.
I don't
a
think they
thick
want.
stick is what Teddy
Yeah.
said.
I just don't think they wanted to go. It's a long trip. They
Right.
didn't want to.
Kamala just didn't want to fly.
It just
The
saves
virus.
them not having to go.
I mean, it's
Okay.
not going to be the greatest accommodations. China Winter Olympics. I mean,
When
Winter
I read it
Olympics has
this
a
morning
history
or yesterday, I was like, "Oh shit, we're boycotting the Olympics." And I was like, "Oh, no, it's just
the USA will be there in full.
yeah."
Just no politicians. That's it. All right. Number 3, Jussie Smollett, the actor from Empire, has testified in court in Chicago on Monday that there was no hoax, Your Honor, no hoax. That the Osundaro brothers, here I'm just going to show them what you guys,
So
just
jacked.
a reminder of what they look like.
Look at
That
his
they
thighs.
assaulted him.
Yeah, his thighs are unbelievable.
How is it those pants are going to rip?
They're in good shape. Those guys are in good shape.
Yeah,
Well,
they are.
they were his fitness consultants.
Right.
After all, he'd known them for several years. But he said it was no hoax and that those brothers, the Osundaro brothers, assaulted him and yelled, "This is MAGA country," while putting a noose around his neck, and that he never paid them to do it. He had just paid them the $3,500 for nutrition advice for while he was going to be out of town, and not for the alleged hate crime that they perpetrated.
Oh, did
where
he not?
witnesses-
Did he
yeah.
not recognize them at all? His buddies? He didn't.
No,
thought,
he didn't know it was them until
He
the
didn't know it was
trial.
them.
Mark,
So you're saying these West African guys, big Trump, these West African guys are big Trump guys, and
huge. That's what Jussie's saying. Yes.
also understand the symbolism of a noose in this country.
Yes, and that they did this on their own accord, and he didn't even know it was them until now that the trial's coming. And I mean, witnesses saw whoever perpetrated it, watching the guys who beat him just giggle as they ran away. But still, it was no hoax. It was.
That's not believable. You know what would have been believable if Smollett was like, it was their idea, Your Honor. You gonna tell them no? Look at them. It showed shirtless pictures of them. It was their idea. I had to go along with it.
The thighs on this one here.
Look at the thighs. Yeah. You gonna tell this guy no? He can't even wear pants.
Mark, you might be onto something because Smollett also alleges that he's slept with and done a lot of drugs with one of the brothers. Not sure why.
He should just pin it on them.
Even relevant.
Yeah.
Right. It's just a nice.
It was their idea. It was their idea. I was a pawn. Yeah.
Your Honor, that guy's the guy that spots me. You're telling me I'm going to tell that guy no?
Right.
Sorry, Your Honor. That's death sentence.
Too bad you guys weren't Jussie's defense attorneys because they didn't come up with that one. They just went with it did happen and it was totally on purpose because they're huge MAGA guys.
Just a huge coincidence that they knew each other.
Yeah. Smollett is facing up to 6 felony counts, but with no record, he'll probably just get probation if he's found guilty anyway.
We can't vote in the election, but when we can, in a couple years, when we get citizenship.
Like the darkest MAGA guys in the world.
Do they think MAGA stands for something else?
They ended up, in a MAGA convention on accident.
Yeah.
All right. Number 2.
We want the guy that called our country a shithole.
Yeah.
To do the best he can. We want you to know it, Smollett.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And speaking of race and politics, number 2, the term LatinX. Fellas, you heard of that one?
Yeah.
I have, yes. I forget what it is, though.
Right. Everybody does. A new poll has shaken the Democratic Party as only 2% refer to themselves as Latinx, while 68% call themselves Hispanic, and 21% favored Latino or Latina to describe their ethnic background. That's a total of
gender neutral is the idea, right? Behind Latin America.
That's
countries.
the idea. 89%
people.
though refer to themselves as Hispanic or Latino or Latina. Latinx, yes, Pat, is the gender neutral, allegedly Latino or Latina, but that's
okay.
Only according to some. More problematic for Democrats, 40% say Latinx bothers or offends them to some degree, and 30% say they would be less likely to support a politician or organization that uses the term because it's offensive.
Too many terms.
Yes. The gender neutral term, as Pat pointed out, originates in academia somewhere circa 2004 and has been largely adopted by white liberals in politics, but not by Latinx people themselves, regardless
the
of
people that would fall in the group.
Right.
I mean, but it's weird because it's literally just making shit easier, Latinx, because it's Hispanic, Latin American, and then both genders is the idea. It was just it was a catch-all.
But like,
They didn't ask for it.
Is Hispanic, does that signify a gender when you say
No, but Hispanic
Latino and Latina.
But that's just because it's that's just because it's a romance language. All of them have.
Wes might be onto something. Latina, maybe.
Right. Obviously, that's the reason the
gender,
term Latinx is replacing the O and the A with the X, because they're saying the X is.
But Hispanic
gender
is
neutral,
not. Hispanic already is gender neutral, right?
Right.
No,
but Latina is just because of the Spanish language is a romance language. It has masculine and feminine.
It's doing two things, guys. It's doing two things. It's gender neutralizing Latino and Latina, and it's conflating Hispanic and Latin American.
Pat, it's doing 3 things. It's pissing 40% of people off.
That's right. It's doing all 3.
So all 3 of those. And yeah. All right. Moving on to number 1, or
the cream of the crop.
And fellas, sad one. Sad number 1 today. Sad cream of the crop. Rest in peace to Kentucky Derby champion Medina Spirit. There's the horse, as you can remember, the 3-year-old, this year's Kentucky Derby winner, who also failed a trace drug test, and again is only 3 years old. Collapsed on the Santa Anita track after a morning workout in Southern California on Monday morning. The horse was trained by legendary horse whisperer Bob Baffert, and some people on Twitter are concerned that all the steroids could have played a role in the heart attack of the 3-year-old horse, taking it to the internet. One Twitter user at Hard Factor Mark says, "R.I.P. Medina Spirit. They can't inject you with steroids in horse heaven."
No.
Which truly very true words, Mark. And you were not alone. Many others on Twitter shared your concerns. So
that horse is glue so fast. They don't want that horse getting drug tested or like the blood work done. That they turned that horse into glue today.
Yeah. That horse had heart
Horse is
problems
gone.
to begin with.
Baffert burnt that horse to the ground.
He's got a system, I'm sure.
Yeah.
He knows
Transfuse the blood. Get it out.
I give horse racing 4 years until it's gone.
You think?
No way. There's so much money in it.
So much money.
Yeah, but there's like those documentaries that have come out recently about the horse hitman.
Greyhounds racing maybe, but horse racing's too big a business. Greyhound racing with all the dead
but
dogs.
they don't
and
murder
steroids.
dogs like they murder
Yes, they
horses.
do.
Oh,
no,
yes,
they die at a quicker rate in Italy in Europe, England,
fighting. Yeah.
Oh, in Europe, they're killing greyhounds like left and right.
I get that, but the horse incentive to murder is so much higher because they're so much more expensive and valuable. So like it's an insurance fraud thing that they're getting. Like once a rich guy's like, "Oh, I'll take on a horse," and then he's like, "I don't want this liability," and then they call the horse hitman, take the horse out, bam, get paid out, no more bills, break even on your money.
Seems
There's
like
so much
you
money,
can always
though.
find something wrong with the horse to put it down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can lie. It broke its leg. You can take a hammer
Yeah.
to its leg.
can
Oh,
get
it broke its
insurance
leg in
payout.
practice.
Broken leg, it's dead.
Yeah.
Broken leg. Just
Baffert-
set up a bumpy course and it's dead.
Baffert couldn't believe his luck when he found this sport. Like
Take a
how
bowling.
easy it was to cover your tracks.
Yeah, he would have done it in any sport. He was gonna juice up sprinters, and he couldn't believe the loophole in horse racing. You know, no one cares, and it's
You
not
just
a
bring out the
human.
tarp? Really?
Yeah, he just breaks a leg. You can get rid of the body. There's no autopsies. It's great.
He says the family is devastated by the loss. But
big
again, really, probably hasn't answered too many questions.
Devastated about is the loss of the prize money that they rightfully won.
The stud money.
fees, yeah.
That's where a lot of the
money,
money
this guy had
is
already won.
afterwards. Like he was going to be
that's where most of
studding
it
out
is.
for millions and millions and millions. Yeah,
Yeah, but
because that's like several years.
you got to sell that stud sperm with a sidecar. You know what I mean? It's like here's the sperm and then also the steroid regimen.
Sure, but you have a head start. You're 50% there with the sperm. Then the drugs can come later. You know, like if you have that baby, that genetics, then you can get the drugs when it turns 1.5. You know,
Something tells me the horse factory is going to keep finding some new champs.
something tells me you should always bet on Bob Baffert's horses because by the time they catch him, it already pays out in Vegas. Like we should have all bet on the fucking horse. He's juicing his horses. He's going to find the drugs that they can't find. Like I'm never not betting on a Baffert horse ever.
He
again.
just assumes everyone else is doing it,
Yeah.
so he's gonna do it.
Infuriating that we didn't bet on this fucking horse.
Yeah, just a little competitive advantage. Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone else must be doing it, right?
Yeah.
They should be, you know.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I?
He just went out on a fucking. He went out on a jog and dropped dead.
Yeah, his heart
Yeah.
exploded.
Yeah, it's right.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
This is a genetic condition.
Why
Yeah.
wouldn't we?
Oh, that's an unlucky horse there.
Yeah, and that's today's cup of coffee in the big time, which was brought to you by one of my favorite things to put into my cup of coffee in the morning, a packet of tasteless and fast-acting caliper CBD powder. Focus and calm all at the same time when I put it in my coffee. It's fantastic. Caliper CBD is legal in all 50 states. All of the chill with none of the high of traditional cannabis. If you're in the market for CBD, stop looking because Caliper CBD is the absolute best CBD on the market, period. And with the hectic holiday season here, there's no better time to try out the calming and de-stressing powers of CBD for yourself. I love Caliper CBD anytime I want to chill out just a little bit. And I especially love taking the flavorless packet in my morning coffee or a Swift stick, which goes straight to your tongue, like I'm going to take right after I finish this ad read. Caliper is the only clinically proven CBD powder on the market, and their easy-to-use packets have exactly 20 milligrams each of CBD, and it starts working in as little as 10 minutes. No fillers, chemicals, or artificial flavors. Always 0.0% THC free, which is a big, which is a big point when you're looking for a CBD product. The perfect stocking stuffer for anybody on your list who could go for a little bit of extra comfort and joy this holiday season.
That's
So,
right.
and we
Unlike a Baffert horse, you'll pass your drug test with Caliper.
Oh, so clean. So clean. And this holiday season, be your merriest with Caliper CBD. Get 35% off your first order with promo code FACTOR at trycaliper.com/factor. Try it risk-free for 30 days. If you don't love it, they'll give you a full refund. That's trycaliper.com/factor. Don't forget promo code FACTOR for 35% off your first order.
Whew. Let me ask you guys a question. In the two plus years we've had Caliper and the hundreds and hundreds of people that have ordered, have you ever had anyone ask you about a refund?
No.
No, zero.
Absolute best. It's the best stuff.
Yeah.
Very calming.
All right, let's move on. Got a, like I said, double grab bag for you guys. Which one do you want first? Do you want Santa or do you want snakes?
Wow. Snakes.
Yeah. I mean, you put snakes on the table.
Snakes? Okay. All right. So we're going to go snakes. Let's go to Poolsville, Maryland, where one man's quest to rid his house of a snake infestation didn't go as planned, and instead he ridded himself of a place to live. So, you know,
The snake's house now.
yeah. So according to snake experts, snakes
Just
don't
invited him in.
He's a place to live anymore. So according to snake experts, snakes don't hibernate in the winter. Instead, they go into what is called brumation, where it's like a less knocked out form of hibernation for cold-blooded creatures. Like that's according to the Washington Post article and some
Like a heroin
herpetologists.
addict.
Right,
A heroin
exactly.
state,
Yeah, like K-hole. They gather together to stay warm.
Pay the rent, but that's about it.
Yeah, they don't do anything.
Yeah. So they gather together to stay warm, many times in basements or home foundations, which is what this poor bastard was dealing with. Just a whole lot of what he said were black snakes, which are likely garter or rat snakes, according to the snake expert, huddled together in his basement. So
In
after
a zombie state. Just a bunch of lazy snakes.
just hundreds of them.
Oh,
So
my-
occasionally,
Every
whole
winter,
neighborhood.
this guy's basement becomes a snake pit.
yes.
One of the snakes is
It is
like,
a
he's
snake
cool
pit.
with it, and all the other snakes in town go over to this guy's house every winter.
He calls an exterminator. He's like, "Yeah, man, you're gonna have to deal with that before March. I mean, no rush. They're cool before March, right?"
Yeah, you got a couple months here.
Yeah. So I guess he had a tenant there, and the tenant was complaining that like snakes kept showing up in the house. The tenant moved out, but before he did, he tried to.
You get two snakes before you move out, right?
Two? Yeah,
Tops.
Inside
Two.
the house,
Inside
full-size
the house.
snakes. The second one, you're looking for a new place.
Yeah, you're out.
Second one,
Yeah.
you're calling a professional. But he didn't call professional. This tenant, he decided he was going to use his own technique, which is smoking the snakes out. And when that didn't work, he left. And the homeowner came in, moved back in, and tried to do the same thing himself. He thought, yeah, we'll smoke them out, see? We'll smoke them out, see?
That was a great idea.
Only problem is snakes really can't smell smoke. They're during in this
Pisses them off.
in this state, they're just like lethargic and just don't care about the smoke. So this guy, he put these coals in his basement and like in the smoking
It just makes
device.
it harder to see the snakes.
It just makes your house smoky.
Did he Google this or like talk to someone at the hardware
No,
store?
no way.
Where'd he get
Yeah.
this
No
idea?
way.
Probably some like ranch hand down the road.
Is
I
this
don't
like
know.
a misremembered Boy Scout lesson?
They're
It's
just
just-
like villages in 1500 England. You can smoke them out.
I read it one time. I saw it one time on the internet. They said
Snakes?
snakes hate smoke.
Smoke them out.
You can smoke anything out. You enough
right.
smoke.
Yeah, they got nostrils. I'll smoke them out.
Yes.
Grocery store, someone sees him with a bag of charcoal. Like, snakes, eh?
That guy's smoking something out. Yeah.
Yeah. But it didn't go as planned, and he left the coals next to some combustible material. And this is what you have. There's his nice home before. There's the fire.
Oh, no.
There's the real big fire.
Oh, no.
And
That's
there's the
a-
remnants.
That's
Yeah,
a
but
$1.5
the- but the snakes are dead.
million house. That's a $2 million house, probably in Maryland.
It was.
Huge house. Yeah, they said the damage was over $1 million, Pat. And it's just gone.
Yeah.
It's just
The
gone.
house
Totals.
I mean, they still have the land they can rebuild, but
Right, they have the land.
He did
Yeah,
the
the
meme
snake
like if you
bog
see
that
a
it's built
spider.
on.
Yeah, he did the meme like if you see a spider in the house, you just burn the house to the ground. He just burnt his house to the ground.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah,
the
he burned it
snakes,
all
yeah.
down.
Yeah.
They said over 75 firemen were called to put out the blaze, but since the house was in the boonies, like there was no hydrant around, and he was just fucked. Firemen said that they did find a couple snake skins and a live snake in the rubble. So it looks like he did, he got rid of the snakes, but he lost everything in the process. So
wow.
yeah,
I wonder
That's
how many
insane.
snakes it was. Because, like, if it wasn't like hundreds to thousands of snakes, this guy's just an idiot.
Yeah,
Really,
was
he's
it
an
a
idiot
Temple of
regardless.
Doom?
Right.
I don't know.
It had
if
to
was
have been
Temple
more
of
than
Doom.
it had to have been more than 50
Right.
snakes.
He
If
can't
it's
get
not-
in the basement.
More than 50 snakes.
Mark, I think it has to be over 100 snakes.
Yeah,
honestly.
it has to be like a full layer of at least one fully
Right.
covered layer of basement snakes,
coating
if
of
not
snakes.
two.
Floor.
A coating of a
Amount
snake
of
floor. Yeah.
snakes.
Yes.
I'll tell you what happened here. Okay, so looking at this house, knowing that this is a town in Maryland I haven't heard of, which means it's probably like
Poolsville.
Okay, whatever, right?
It's like 45 minutes away from DC.
So it's rural, right? and then you
Western
look at that
Maryland
house.
somewhere or something.
That house is a big ass house, but it's
Right.
the type of house you buy if you are thinking about being an outdoorsy country type of guy. That's what it is. But it's also a nice one. It's like a nice outdoorsy country type of house.
Yes.
And this guy was really living the life. He was playing the parties. Like he bought the house. He made a bunch of money in D.C. Goes out to the country, buys his cottage, but it's a fucking big ass fucking cottage. Maybe got some rustic finishes inside, and he felt like he was that guy. And
But
he
he
felt
was
like
not. He was
but he
not.
couldn't
so- He
smoke
clearly
rent
wasn't.
out.
snakes out of the basement.
He had to rent it out though, because he didn't use it that much.
Right. He didn't use it that much. And,
He's like, actually, there's a snake pit in there.
He's the type of guy that can afford, obviously not to live there since he rented it out, and can afford to hire a professional snake guy instead of taking it on himself.
Right, but
Right.
that's not why he bought the house and why he bought the boots, Mark. He was
Yeah,
wearing his
look-
boots out
look,
there.
if it's one or two snakes, you would do that and you take care of it. If it's a snake floor and you're just gonna smoke them out, someone needs to talk some sense into you.
Right.
need
You
to
got to
have-
get a snake guy before you just try to burn your fucking house. Like,
Right.
all right, I'm just going to do a controlled burn inside.
right.
Yeah.
Well, none of the,
then
none of
you
the
have, like,
experts.
Then you have like little snakes on fire running through the house like that. What good was that gonna do?
It wasn't even a burn. Like, none of the snake experts said that none of them have ever heard of this technique. So
Right.
Not
he
enough
did.
problem.
They're like, dude, you let snakes are on the floor, you fucking idiot. Smoke
Yeah.
rise. You don't
This
give
guy-
a fuck about smoke.
This guy heard this one time and it stayed with him his whole life that snakes hate smoke. He saw it like a
well,
comic
I
book or
hate
something.
smoke.
Yeah.
Well, I hate smoke, and yeah.
The Jungle Book.
No, he must have thought that he was actually
Not
going to like
bees.
catch them on
Yeah,
fire.
they're not bees.
But does
You know what
did
he
also?
did? He watched like Indiana
hate bees
Jones
and I hate
28
snakes.
times.
Yeah, I agree. Will he watched Indiana Jones where they
Yeah.
throw when he throws
Because
the
I think
torch?
Indiana Jones has set snakes on fire, and this guy
Yeah.
thought that he could
That's what
do
I'm saying.
the Indiana Jones.
He- Which is probably not true. I don't think snakes give a fuck about fire.
They care about fire. They don't care about smoke.
Yeah.
Right,
but-
the smoke is going over their head. every
Also,
time.
like, does he know
100%
anything
of the
about
time.
like smoke damage? Like even if he got rid of the snakes, the amount
Right.
of smoke it would take would make the house not resellable.
Right. Yeah. It's like a charcoal grill in there.
Yeah. Then the spiders come in 'cause it's all damp.
Yeah. He was using charcoal, so.
You want my roasted mansion?
He just grilled his basement.
You like campfires, big houses? I got a
nut.
property for you.
All right, let's move on from snakes to Santa. And guys, with the holidays coming up, crime is on the rise, right? Officer Jason Willingham from the Tulsa, Oklahoma Police Department told South University back in 2010 in a study that holiday season brings crime of opportunities, right? Quote, criminals tend to strike more during the holiday season because they know there are more people out holiday shopping. There are more victims out there. There are more cars out there. It's easier for those criminals to blend in. Crime also spikes due to stress. People are off work, out of their routines. Some of them just get downright depressed. They need money. And of course, package thieves are running rampant, stealing your presents right off your front porch.
It's always a shit show. It's the
yeah.
worst. It's always the worst crime month, right? December,
most-
like every
right.
year.
Every year. It's the most wonderful time of the year for everyone, especially thieves. So you would expect those who have a lot of valuable goods during the holidays to want to protect themselves, right? And one man handles more valuable goods during the holidays than anyone else in the world.
Santa.
Yeah, his name is Santa
point.
Claus. That's
Yeah,
right.
Santa.
All right. So before the holidays ramp up, and Santa gets caught out there with his pants down and billions of dollars worth of goods in his sleigh, he stopped into the old El Paso County Sheriff's Office in Colorado to pick up a concealed handgun permit because this year, if you try to rip Santa off, it's your ass. And here's the post.
Packing heat.
He's packing heat. So here he is. It says, guess who came in to receive his concealed handgun permit today? Did you know the El Paso County Sheriff's Office has issued 49,750 concealed handgun permits with another 2,560 awaiting to be issued? And here's the picture of Santa waiting to get his concealed handgun. He's got his it's Santa Claus. He's got his little overalls on. He's filling out the paperwork.
That's Southwest Santa though. Look at he's got like a colorful shirt and like a turquoise ring.
Well, he's not working yet, Will. He's on vacation. He winters
Oh,
in
my
Colorado. Yeah.
What name did he give? Chris Kringle?
Chris Kringle, I'm sure. Yeah. Santa Claus, Chris Kringle. So of
Or was it
course,
Saint Nick.
right. Yeah. However, not everyone was so delighted with the little, stunt, and many responded to the post at how insensitive it was, seeing as how it was posted just days after some little gorilla dick loser killed 4 people in Michigan with a handgun. So here are some of the posts that were responded. I'm sitting here in downtown Oxford, Michigan, awaiting for the candlelight vigil to start to pay tribute to 4 students who were murdered by a handgun smuggled into the school. But by all means, tell kids Santa carries a concealed weapon.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Got
Here's another one. War on Christmas.
Like that. This fake Santa. Come on. I mean,
this is not a fake Santa. This is the most realistic looking Santa I've seen in years.
timing.
He's definitely going. He's definitely
good.
trying to go as Santa in the pictures.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Here's another one. Right Matters, Truth Matters says apparently the El Paso County Sheriff doesn't know what the Santa in Santa Claus means. Hint, it doesn't involve harming or killing other people, which is the only thing that a handgun is good for. Besmirching Santa, this must be part of the war on Christmas I'm always hearing about.
It's more like
What does
Krampus.
Santa mean then?
Yeah,
Yeah. What does
What
Santa?
does Santa mean?
What does Santa mean?
no clue.
Why
Pat
can't
just told us
Santa
it came from
carry
a
a
prostitute story.
I will say this.
Yeah,
first
Santa-
One, the first tweet nailed it. The second tweet was a little. What are handguns?
I think Santa. I don't know.
about
I don't know about this whole Santa
The-
can't carry a gun.
that. Well, here's a.
He needs it more than anyone.
Doesn't Santa
Yeah, he's
break
got a
into?
propensity for hookers.
No,
man.
no,
There's
yeah,
a
but doesn't he
dangerous
break into
carries
your
a lot of
house?
goods.
Right? Yeah.
Doesn't
he
Santa break
throws
into
gold
your house?
coins at prostitutes.
Yeah.
But Santa comes into your home, so he doesn't need a gun. It's not like he's protecting his home. Santa's coming down your chimney packing heat. That's like that's a robbery.
Right, but he's
Yeah,
out there with
but-
that sleigh full of goods.
All he's doing.
Okay,
to
does
you,
he leave? Does he leave the gun on the sleigh when he
Mark,
breaks into your
all
home?
he's doing to you is pelting you with a bag of gold coins so you don't go into prostitution.
We're learning
And
a
then
little
he
bit
just
about.
gets the fuck out
Is
of
it is it so crazy to think with all the developments in the past couple of years that Santa might not be a good guy after all? Well, we were fooled the whole time.
Listen, let's not
Santa's
go
a
that
great
far.
guy.
Yeah.
All right.
Last one here. This one I thought was funny. It's from your mom. Disgusting. Those that interact with kids have no place carrying concealed handguns. Do those you issue these permits to know how to lock and secure their firearms? Do they have any firearm safety training? You're actively making society less safe rather than protecting and serving. So they're mad that Santa Claus is going to be carrying a concealed handgun out there, and very upset about that. I don't know if that was real or if that was a troll.
Does your mom know what a CHL is? Like in Texas, there's a course. You don't just get it.
Yeah, usually you have to take the course.
The
The course is pretty easy to pass everywhere.
This
but
is the
yes.
perfect opportunity for us to play our Who Do You Know Here sketch where Will played Santa Claus and had a concealed handgun when he was
Yeah.
at the person's house.
That's what I'm saying. I think that's
For local Christmas.
For local Christmas, Mark. I've always thought that Santa would be a gun guy. This shocks me that people have any problem at all because
In that sketch, Will comes into the house to give gifts, and the stepson didn't know what the Four Loko was, so he would always ask his dad, "Can I have Four Loko?" And the stepdad would yell at him, "No, you little shit, that's for special occasions." So that's all he remembered. So he poured a Four Loko for Santa Claus because it was a special occasion, and then Santa Claus had Four Loko and cookies and got hammered,
He turned up.
and he turned up in the house.
We also hired
wanted some whores.
Wanted some whores, yeah.
We hired that kid actor under a certain pretense that we wouldn't do that, and then we
Yeah.
did that,
Yeah.
and then
that
came
was
out,
awesome though.
and his mom,
That kid had a
agent,
great day though.
got very mad.
Yeah, I mean, but
it was
he
definitely
learned about
mature
art, you know?
material. Yeah.
Like every kid we hired had a great time on
We
set.
had him
learned
play
about
the
art.
he was the CEO of Four Loko at the end.
at least he
Angelo
didn't
the
have to-
Loco.
At least he didn't have to suck the popsicle like the other kid.
He goes,
Oh,
chlorine,
yeah.
taurine,
Let's move on.
chlorine, taurine, caffeine. He goes, some of those kids had bum tickers to begin with.
Yeah. But, because of the outrage, the El Paso County Sheriff issued this apology saying El Paso County Sheriff's Office intended to highlight our staff in the concealed handgun permit office, not to be insensitive. Santa correlates to the month of December, and we thought he would help to recognize our hardworking staff. So suck it up is what they're saying. Sorry. But
I mean,
Just ignore it. If it just
it's
ignore it.
clearly just a cute little post.
Yeah, just ignore it if it
Give me a
bothers you.
break.
the guy who was in line at the vigil. Now,
That's tough.
I don't. Also, was he? Nobody can verify
hope so.
that.
I would
This
hope
is
so.
just a guy on the internet. He's saying like, "I'm standing at the vigil." All right, yeah, sure.
Joseph Johnson,
I'm
man.
sorry.
If
the
true,
timing.
that's annoying. I get it. Yeah.
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 Listen, there's always going to be someone offended.
It's true. Don't we know it?
Okay. So, guys, I don't know about you, but sometimes I work myself just to the bone. I prioritize productivity over how I feel mentally. And you know what? That's no way to live and can have damaging long-term effects. Luckily, my therapist is working with me to help me, learn how to just take some me time, focus on the stuff that really matters and not, put so much damn pressure on myself. And with the holidays coming up and the pressure and stress at all-time highs, now is a great time for you to talk to someone too, which is where Talkspace comes in. Talkspace makes it easy to match with a licensed therapist and get confidential, convenient, and affordable support for your mental health. So much emphasis in our society is put on how we look, our diets, working out, our physical well-being. But you know what? You should put the same amount of care into your mental wellness as you do your physical wellness because it's just as important. What do you want? To be walking around with a six-pack but just a mess mentally? That might be fun for a minute, but long-term, not great, right?
That's fun for other people. That's not fun for you.
Right. Yeah. You might have some fun with it, but long term, you're going to be a mess. I see a therapist regularly. Therapy was instrumental in getting me through my issues with alcohol, and it continues to be an integral part of my recovery and elsewhere in my life. Talkspace offers individual therapy as well as couples therapy and medication prescription services. Talkspace is the #1 online therapy platform to help you work through it. Talkspace therapists are experts in dozens of specialties, anxiety, depression, relationships, whatever you got going on, they can help you. And they work around your schedule and your convenience. You can receive unlimited messages 24/7 with your dedicated therapist in the app. So if you feel like your mental health is taking a back seat and the holidays are coming up and you're feeling a little stressed, Talkspace is here to help. Match with a licensed therapist when you go to Talkspace.com and get $100 off your first month with promo code HARDFACTOR. That's $100 off when you use code HARDFACTOR at Talkspace.com. Good time to do it with the holidays coming up.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's time for the TikTok International Moment.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, guys, let's go to England real quick. British parliamentary authorities are calling in the police after a newspaper reported that traces of cocaine have been found at numerous sites in British Parliament. Areas of interest were reported to be the bathrooms nearest to the office of Homeland Security Secretary Priti Patel, who's in charge of domestic security, and the bathrooms nearest to the office of the Prime Minister, Boris Johnson. A third area of interest is rumored but not confirmed, and that's the mask of Boris Johnson.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Where there's when there's smoke, there's fire. I hear what you're saying. Now, could it possibly be from their fake wigs they wear?
It could. No, it's cocaine. Why would they put
definitely
cocaine?
Because
Definitely
their wigs have powder.
This is
Gotta
cocaine.
dust your wig. Everybody knows that.
Maybe some prankster put cocaine in their wigs. I don't know.
They need that spray, that spray we talked about.
That's right. For that absolutely no bar has bought. Yeah.
Right. This is definitely cocaine, guys. So
Okay.
I believe Burles gets down.
yeah, he definitely gets.
Well,
some.
it's in the bathroom nearest their offices. Who's to say?
That guy's hiding kids. He definitely does cocaine.
Who's to say?
Guys, when Johnson heard about the report from Britain's Sunday Times, he reportedly was outraged, and he subsequently showed
Let
up.
them in my bathroom.
He subsequently showed up to Parliament on Monday, dressed as a police officer to promote his new anti-drug strategy for the country and show everyone he was definitely not responsible. Otherwise, why would he introduce a new drug policy with a media stunt? It just doesn't make sense. It definitely wasn't.
Why would I wear this hat?
Because it wasn't just the Conservative Party who suspected of blasting lines on the job. Sites used by the opposition, Labour Party, also tested positive for that white girl. Residue was reportedly found in a sedate dining room in the House of Lords. And let's be honest, that must have been some fantastic cocaine. Coke found in the House of Lords? Come on, I don't do coke anymore, but if I did...
Right. And that's a tip for the salespeople, too. Just say this is the coke they do in the House of Lords. You can probably charge extra.
A tip for a cocaine salesman is to hang out around any set of politicians because the revelation that both parties do cocaine is one of the least shocking things of all time. If you ever spent time in any state capital or national capital, whatever, politicians
you saying there's
do
a lot of blow going around DC?
Oh, man. Koch brothers?
Staff get
Come
down.
on, a tornado of coke. Yeah.
Those guys are coke heads. Guys, all right, let's take it to Afghanistan. Big news out of Afghanistan. Everyone said that the Taliban, when they retook the country, would be bad for cultural issues and would maybe be a progressive backslide, especially when it comes to the rights of women. But if that were true, then why would the non-elected Supreme Taliban chief issue a decree outright banning forced marriages, stating that women should not be considered, quote, property? So how do you make heads or tails of that, CNN, huh? It's pretty crazy. Didn't see that one coming from the Taliban folks, right? This is certainly progress. And look, I don't know the Supreme Chief Hibatullah Akhundzada personally, but I'm pretty confident that he's doing this because of a newfound respect for women and not because of the billions of dollars in funds earmarked for the country that have been frozen due to humanitarian concerns. I think I'm just really coming around on Hibatullah Akhundzada. I mean, earlier this year, he set the minimum age to be forced into marriage at 16, right? Which is pretty good. Now, you don't even need to be forced, but his next challenge will clearly be to find something to do to keep Afghani females busy and out of trouble from the ages of 12 when they're no longer allowed to go to school until the age of 16 when they can essentially marry the village elder, right? So I'm excited to see what he comes up with there.
Yeah, he said they also have 0 cases of women saying no when they're asked. Yeah.
Yeah, no, they can make their
COVID over
own
there.
decision. So
It's amazing what he's doing, really.
it's really pretty progressive, I think.
Take
Guys,
notes.
let's take
applaud
it
him.
to Switzerland. Shout out to Charles for this one. Artificial intelligence, right? It's changing the way we do everything from inventory management and marketing to shopping, robot sex, and soon artificial intelligence will revolutionize the final frontier, assisted suicide.
Oh, no.
Oh, great. They're
yep.
figuring that. So a robot can kill you now. Just gonna walk up to you and offer you, hey, you having a bad day? Why don't you hop inside me?
Well, that's not exactly true. It'll definitely not
That's
the walking.
That's not even assisted suicide. Well,
Yeah.
that's just they just suicide you.
roll up to you. I want you guys to meet the new 3D printed Sarco Suicide Pod. Yeah.
Okay.
This sleek 3D
Is that
printed.
thing on wheels? Because pretty much looks exactly what I thought.
It's 100% on wheels, Will.
Yeah.
my
If
God.
it can talk to you, it's game over for. Oh wow.
Yeah,
Do
guys.
you want one last robot hand job?
It's like a fucked up tanning booth.
Yeah.
It's tanning booth you never come back from. Guys, this sleek 3D printed suicide pod from the designers at Exit International aims to make the complications and stress of ending it early a thing of the past. The Sarco Suicide Pod, or Death Pod, as it's lovingly described by its inventor, Philip Nietzsche, features an artificial intelligence screening system that can determine whether you're mentally with it enough to off yourself or if you're just a curious goofball. Once
Just call the
inside,
death bot over. He'll do the rest.
once
You have
inside,
to,
guys, the
pass
person.
a test and then it just puts you out.
Well, questionnaire first
Yeah.
online,
You've
and then a
passed.
test.
Responsible,
Good
Mark.
night. It's dark.
Yeah, once inside, guys, the person intending to end their own life will have to answer pre-recorded questions and press a button that will start the process of flooding the interior with nitrogen, which will quickly reduce the oxygen inside from 21% to 1%, and bam, say hi to God. Guys, this is being touted as a high-tech suicide machine and comes in 2 elegantly designed parts, a reusable machine base and a capsule that can be detached and used as a coffin. So cleanup is a breeze.
Whoa. Holy shit.
Wow.
It's literally a robot that asks you that just facilitates.
Are you
it.
sure? It asks you, are you sure twice. Are you sure? Yes. Are you sure?
the
Yes.
test, yeah.
And then it just shoots nitrogen in it.
It's on a slant too, so you just slide off it into the hole.
Yeah, you just slide
That's-
into the coffin.
You fall into a hole.
No, it is
you
the
just
coffin, yeah.
slide
Turning
off.
into coffin.
That just goes into the... One other revolutionary feature, guys, is the tow hitch. And that allows for the death pod to be towed wherever you want to do it. Like a, quote, idyllic outdoor setting, as suggested by the product's creator.
They just created the easiest way to murder people in Switzerland. Just shove them in the pod.
No,
This should
people are
this should
definitely
only
gonna-
this should only be like in medical facilities, if at all. Anyway,
I guess the point is that
Shouldn't be allowed
it's
to-
You should
videotaping the whole thing. So
people
you'd
to
have
buy
to-
this.
Well,
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because-
She was so depressed. She was so depressed she couldn't talk.
it's not for that. It's for people that are like,
Yeah.
People are going to take advantage of this thing.
Terminally-
I'm
Well,
all for
no.
assisted suicide, but
This
yeah,
is
this
not
creepy.
regulated enough. Sorry.
Even
Well-
if you're for it, I think this would creep you out because
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah,
this is
that's what I'm
a
saying. It's
robot that
creepy.
can roll up. to
You
Look
can
at that
buy
thing.
it. You can personally buy it and have it.
It
in
just
your
got a
home.
little too
It's
real.
not- yeah, it's
Very
it's too
real.
easy. Too easy to get a
you
hold
guys
of.
didn't even hear the whole process, okay?
Okay.
Anyone who wants to use the pod has to go online and answer an online survey,
Right.
which is meant to prove that, whether they're making the decision on their own accord. And if they pass, they'll be told the location of the pod and given an access code. So
Right.
Easy peasy.
So there you go.
That makes me feel better.
So then you can totally murder people because you just set up you get on a VPN, fill out the survey, get the access code, lead the person you want murdered to the pod, shove them in the pod, turn on the code, and then they're nitrogen.
yeah, tell them it's a VR machine.
Yeah, just hit on. Just hit when it asks you, are you sure? When it asks you, are you sure? Twice, just say yes.
It's a new game called Heaven or Hell. That's the fun part about it. It's a coin flip.
This is not okay.
Yeah, well, look, it's a good thing because assisted suicide is something that's necessary for some people.
Okay,
and,
but not this easy. Not in a pod. You need to go see someone. You need to go see like a doctor. I'm sorry. This is not the way to do it.
Even talking on this show so much about how fast robots are going to take over, it's still shocking how quickly it's happening.
There you
yeah,
go.
it's happening very quickly.
You don't need a telephone booth suicide people. I'm for assisted suicide when needed as well, but this is not the way to do it.
The big thing that it does do is it takes out the need for someone else to do it, which is like a moral dilemma. You can do it yourself. Anyway, whatever.
Yeah, so put it in the hands of the machines.
Yes.
Put it in the hands of the,
Machines don't care.
the mentally distressed.
Yeah, it's just a mentally distressed person and machine. They'll take care of it.
Look out for these things to be the open source 3D printing code to be dropped in 2022. So,
Oh, good. So everybody can make one.
Open sourced it. Yep.
guys,
Called a car in a garage, basically. I mean,
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
pretty
This
much.
is the car in the garage. Yeah.
I want to talk to all the truck owners that are members of the Hardo Hive real quick. If you're a truck owner, congratulations. Sick. We should hang out sometime. I used to be a truck owner till I totaled it. Well, technically, it was my herbalist, Fawn, that crashed into me with his Mini Cooper. He totaled it. But I was a truck guy for a long time, guys. And when I was a truck guy, one of the biggest issues I had was, how do I keep all my cool truck shit in my truck without my cab being a mess? And if I keep it in the back, in the bed, someone's going to steal it. Well, not no more, because the decked drawer system handles all of that. Guys,
You got shit stolen from you too, and you're messy. So you really needed this.
Thanks, Mark. It's true. Yeah. That's why Decked is perfect for me and could be perfect for you. Guys, the deck drawer system is weatherproof. Keeps your stuff safe from rain, ice, snow, all the weather. It makes organizing and accessing everything that you need much easier. Guys, each of Deck's 2 full-length bed drawers can easily carry 200 pounds of whatever you got. And the drawers roll out waist high, giving you easy access to your organized tools and gear. If you've ever looked at a plumber's van or an electrician's van longingly and with lust because of their organizational skills with a big build-out, you might need Decked, because it's not a big build-out, but it can give you the same type of sick storage that those guys have. It keeps your gear secure, and if the tailgate's locked, you can't open the drawer. So, bam, can't remove the system. Secure, safe. So this is like, if you're a hobbyist, if you're a coach, if you're into hunting, fishing, if you like to get organized, if you're type A type of guy and you're in and out of your truck all the time or gal, Decked is for you. And it's 100% made in the USA, backed by a lifetime warranty, no hassle, second to none customer service. Come on, y'all. Getting Decked was the best thing that any truck owner ever did for their truck, and why don't you do it too? So check it out. Go to get your deck drawer system at deck.com/hard factor. That's one word, deck.com/hard factor. And if you do that, you'll get free shipping. And this thing's heavy, so you're going to want that free shipping. That's deck.com/hard factor for free shipping on your deck drawer system, deck.com/hard factor.
Incredible toolkit too. They got really nice products. Okay, you know what? One of the most fucked up, if not the most fucked up and evil diseases is
hand, foot, and mouth disease.
Take a guess. Okay, good guess. Recency bias, but good guess.
Rabies.
Yeah.
Rabies. Okay, think bigger.
I mean,
Ebola.
HIV is the worst.
Or
Cancer.
Alzheimer's. Cancer was what my guess was.
Alzheimer's. Okay.
Alzheimer's. I was going for Alzheimer's disease. It's the cause of most cases of dementia, about 2/3 of them. And Alzheimer's affects over 6 million Americans and hundreds of millions of people worldwide. Cases have gone up over 15% annually since COVID began. It's a disease that progressively worsens, and it's a sad, mean disease where elderly people's cognitive abilities decline, and those affected are unable to remember certain events and people, etc. Right? It's kind of like blacking out constantly, I'd imagine. I don't know if a doctor would describe it that way, but I would, with my limited knowledge of Alzheimer's and extensive knowledge of blacking out. I'd say Alzheimer, that's kind of like constantly blacking out, if you asked me, right? Anyways, to make matters worse, there's no cure or even a treatment for Alzheimer's. Don't even ask a doctor and don't bother Googling it. There's no cure whatsoever. And it's about this time you might be asking yourself, hey, man, what the fuck? Why are you saying all this horrible shit about Alzheimer's, you asshole? And I'll tell you why. Because there is actually good news finally. It turns out in findings from a brand new study that treating the second most evil disease can prevent Alzheimer's as well in the best kill two birds with one stone scenario of all time. That's right. That's right. Yes. That's right. The fear wizards, plebeianly known as scientists, have finally done something useful. Researchers at the Cleveland Clinic tested more than 1,600 Food and Drug Administration approved drugs to see if they could be effective treatments for Alzheimer's, and they found that one drug was 69% effective at preventing Alzheimer's. 69%. Nice.
It's perfect. What drug?
And it's the drug that gives you the best chance at engaging in a 69, sildenafil, which is the brand name for Viagra. That's right. Curing ED and constantly getting boners significantly improves cognition and memory, and highly likely prevents you from contracting or getting Alzheimer's disease.
This is huge,
dementia.
Mark.
Yeah.
Alzheimer's runs deep in my family, so the news that I can just take some Viagra and take care of it.
This is huge news for you, Will.
Big.
Just
hold on.
Just pop the pills, brother. Just
when
keep,
do I
keep
need
getting
to
the bonus.
start? Soon?
I would say, there's no time too soon.
Never
right?
too soon.
Yeah,
Never too soon.
Never too soon. Right?
Okay.
And we have a partner, I believe. We're not doing a full ad read for them today, but Get Roman can help you out if you want to have that cognitive ability and those boners and you want to steer clear of Alzheimer's. I don't think technically we can say that it 100% doesn't give you Alzheimer's, but the study's saying 69%. So,
Right,
pretty good.
Roman.com/heart factor if you want to find out. Yeah.
That's right. The researchers compared sildenafil users versus non-sildenafil users of similar age and I guess genetic predisposition to Alzheimer's, and they followed up with them over a 6-year period and found that the people getting raging boners from pills were getting Alzheimer's 69% less frequently, and that their
Fucking awesome.
and that their brain cell growth was similar to the growth of their constantly engorged peni.
I think this has something to do with
Skyrocketing.
Yeah, brains
they got
going-
At the ready.
well, they got something to live for, right? Like,
Well, obviously, Wes. I mean, that's part of it.
That's what it is.
But when you take this, they can when you take these pills, I guess they can whoop your ass in memory, the game of memory, and then they can wax your ass until you were, as Ariana Grande says, you're walking side to side. If you know what I mean. Hey, they got me walking side to side because they banged there all night.
How do the women get it? Because I know women in my family have gotten Alzheimer's. So how are they going to?
This is for the men, Will. This is for the men. This is for the
Wow.
men.
Just good news for the men. Well, wow.
Yeah, another good news for guys.
Ooh.
Sorry, ladies.
Whoa.
But, Dr. Ivan Koichev, a senior clinical researcher at the University of Oxford, said the findings were, quote, an exciting development because, quote, it points to a specific drug, sildenafil, which may offer a new approach to treating the condition, right? He went on to say, quote, we aren't exactly sure why it works, but the working theory here in the Oxford lab is that when you get a boner, your brain tends to want to get in on the action, right? Like Wes was saying, your brain is probably not going to leave you hanging if your peen be slanging. You know what they say, it's your mind that makes you come early, and there's nothing wrong with that. And then you're just excited to be having such a good time, and you've got a great mind, so don't beat yourself up over coming early. You can't control it, end quote. He went on, he was rambling at the end, but
Yeah.
he said it's the mind.
But he made a lot of good
around.
points. Yeah, and it's all about the little blue pill, your little blue buddy.
I like to think, I don't know how Viagra was invented, but I like to think that it was by two guys, right? A nerdy guy who was conservative and a cool guy who was more, loose with it. And I want to just imagine that the loose with it guy at some point told the nerdy guy, look, we're not curing Alzheimer's here, okay? This is just getting boners going again. And he was wrong.
he was wrong because the cognitive and memory. Woof. Yeah, I mean, you get a boner, you're going to remember why it's there. Professor Humongous tweeted, "This is great news. There's pretty much no chance I'm going to get Alzheimer's if this is true. Hashtag Team Blue Pill is hard on diseases." And then
right after R.I.P. Bob Dole too. This is
Yeah, I know.
amazing news.
Well,
Back to back.
He lived till 98, Will, and he was sharp as a fucking tack. Is there any,
You're right.
I mean,
Pop those
Bob
things
Dole's-
like Wes pops fucking orange
Tic
Tic
Tacs.
Tacs, man.
Yeah.
Not anymore. Haven't
Well,
done that in a while.
Switch up to the blue pill or the white pill from
Yeah.
Get Roman. Professor Sconge said, quote, "Okay, this makes a ton of sense because I can remember the starting pitchers for pretty much every Rays game in the past 20 years, and it's been freaking me out. I've also had a boner for several hours a day every day since December 15th, 2000. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
You with me?
rocking that Longwood.
You with me?
Barely.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Tim Bailey. Dr. Susan Kalas, Director of Research at Alzheimer's Research UK, who I would like to point out is a woman, said, quote, "This research doesn't prove that sildenafil is responsible for reducing dementia risk or that it slows or stops the disease. The only way to test this would be in a large-scale clinical trial measuring sildenafil effect against the usual standard of care, to which 52% of men over the age of 40 and a bunch of college students are going to now be faking early onset dementia said, let's fucking go."
Yeah. Can I sign up?
A volunteer.
Yeah.
This is bad. This is bad news for old women who all they wanted to do was just let their husbands drift into dementia, and now
you're
they're
right,
just getting
Wes.
banged. Now they're just getting banged. You know what I
About to be
mean?
a problem when I get
It's
my
about to
sildenafil
be a problem for these
Can you
women.
imagine? Can you imagine the applause that went up today at the villages in Florida when they read this article?
Oh man, yeah.
Holy shit!
Thank you so much. He's now so full of life. Huh?
This is the talk of every nursing home.
Yeah.
The
for the next
villages just
forever.
go in on community Viagra. They just get bowls of it.
It's like that meme where like the big screen's playing in a bar and everyone goes nuts. You just put up like the article of Viagra to makes you. Yeah.
What a feel good story, Mark. Thanks.
I know, guys. Look, they're gonna sign up and we're gonna sign off. And also, oh, by the way, I know a few guys our age that have an incredible memory, if you know what I mean. They sport fucking, they're gonna be fine. I texted my one buddy this story and he was like, "Awesome, great news for me because I've been taking Viagra to sport fuck for years." And that's gonna do it for Hard Factor. Thank you for tuning in. Wes, we have a new shirt coming out, don't we?
We do, yeah. The Grady Judd, what is it? The Moon Pie 7-Up. Stop,
Drink a 7-Up.
quit murdering
Moon
people.
Pie.
Yeah,
quit
we
murdering
got we got a professional one being made, so that'll be out soon.
Got a couple new people that signed up. Charles finally joined the Discord, it looks like. Got some new people that signed up on Patreon. Patreon.com/hardfactor. If you sign up for any of the tiers, you can get into the Discord. You get access to the gambling and all the money and the crypto stuff if you get to the top tier, the send in the car. But if you want to give us a Christmas present, sign up for the Patreon. Any of those tiers. That's a huge holiday Christmas present for us. It helps us out, so we appreciate that.
Tis
Also,
the season. Tis
Full
the
year,
season.
you got a
After all.
sweatshirt,
the
send in the
season.
car.
right?
You should get tis in the season or send in the car.
Leave us a voicemail, 512-270-1480. Please. Also, leave us 5-star reviews. We'll read and play those on Fridays. Yeah, most importantly, I'd say, though, have a great fucking day.